Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones.
And I'm Peter Dubois. First tonight, a proposed bill could change voter registration requirements, making it harder for some people to vote in Maine.
Our Devin Dagnall met with officials to learn more.
Maine Senate Republicans have proposed a bill that would require potential Maine voters to present specific information in order to register to vote. If passed, LD 34 would not allow voters to use previously accepted forms of ID, such as tribal and/or university-issued photo identification. But, according to the sponsor of the bill, Senator Matt Pouliot, that could change.
I actually proposed an amendment to allow for state university or state community college IDs to be used as long as the student were a Maine resident.
As it stands, the bill allows for voters to use government-issued photo IDs such as driver's licenses, U.S. passports, and concealed handgun permits. The bill also states that those who do not have those forms of identification will be allowed to request a free voter's identification from the Maine Secretary of State. Pouliot says the bill has been proposed as a way to combat a growing concern about voter fraud in the state.
There is a war in this nation on the free form of voting that we have in terms of lack of public confidence and trust. And so this is not a politically motivated bill. It's a bill that seeks to help restore confidence and trust in the electoral process in the state.
We already require proof of identity when you register. Making Mainers take that extra step of showing some sort of specific ID when you go to vote is discriminatory, will create long lines, and really is a solution in search of a problem.
At a hearing on Monday, Secretary of State Shenna Bellows testified against the proposed legislation. Bellows says if passed, the legislation will do more harm than good.
As it's unnecessary, it would create logistical consequences, including long lines at the polls, and potentially discriminate against voters.
No official decision has been made on the bill yet. The legislature will vote on the matter next week. Devin Dagnall, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
A man has been sentenced to 42 years in jail for the murder of his longtime girlfriend back in 2019. Nicholas Lovejoy previously pleaded guilty to the murder of Melissa Sousa, the mother of their twin daughters. Lovejoy shot Sousa 4 times in October 2019. Sousa's friends and family say the verdict has brought some level of closure after the loss of a loved one. The prosecution says this case sheds light on the tragic realities of domestic violence.
Very relieved that it's finally over, because it's been a long 3 years. She was a good mother, and she was a very thoughtful and kind and loving person.
So certainly if there's anybody out there watching this who's in a similar situation or is suffering from domestic violence, please reach out. There are so many resources available.
On Monday in court, defense attorney Scott Hess interviewed a neurologist to argue how Lovejoy's 2012 car accident caused injuries to his brain. The defense contended that Lovejoy's jail sentence should reflect the fact that a trained professional says those head injuries could have influenced Lovejoy's cognitive thinking as it relates to his behavior.
It was catastrophic and was something that no doubt permeated in all areas of his life.
As Lovejoy is currently using a wheelchair due to falls while in jail due to repeated seizures, the defense plans to file for appeal sometime this week based on claims that evidence was recovered by violating Lovejoy's constitutional rights.
Meanwhile, the maternal grandmother of a 3-year-old boy killed in June 2021 was sentenced on charges in connection with the case, but will serve no actual time in jail. Sherry Johnson originally pleaded not guilty to a charge of hindering apprehension or prosecution in the death of her grandson, Maddox Williams. Police say Johnson lied to them about her daughter's whereabouts for several days after Maddox was taken to the hospital by Johnson and her daughter and then pronounced dead. Today, Johnson entered a guilty plea and was sentenced to 3.5 years in jail, all suspended, plus 2 years of probation. Maddox's paternal grandmother says she was disappointed with the sentence.
I was hoping for jail time. I was disappointed, but I figured there wasn't going to be any more additional jail time. But this is my only shot to tell her how I feel.
Johnson is also required to do 48 hours of community service. Maddox Williams' mother, Jessica Williams, was previously convicted of killing her son and was sentenced to 47 years in prison.
A Maine corrections officer who caused a crash that killed a 9-year-old girl after he worked consecutive 16-hour shifts won't be serving time behind bars. 65-year-old Kenneth Meringue, who was convicted in October of manslaughter, gave an emotional apology to the girl's family before a judge sentenced him to 6 years, all of which was suspended. He must serve 4 years of probation. Prosecutors said Meringue knew he was too tired to drive after working the consecutive shifts at the Cumberland County Jail. Meringue collided with a family that was returning home in their SUV after seeing the Lion King movie in July 2019. 9-year-old Raylene Bell died several days after the collision. Meringue, who faced up to 30 years in prison, resigned from his job at the Cumberland County Jail because the injuries he suffered in the crash prevented him from returning to work.
Well, as the homelessness crisis in Bangor worsens, a federal emergency management team is stepping in to help. Our Matthew Jurancic explains.
This is the most homeless I've ever seen in the city of Bangor, and I've been working with the homeless for 15 years.
The city of Bangor is working with a group from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development to combat the current homelessness epidemic.
HUD can deploy subject matter experts to a community, to an event, to address the needs within a community. And our need was, how do we move individuals who are in encampments into housing?
The technical assistance team has worked in larger metropolitan areas to quickly rehouse the homeless, including Seattle, Los Angeles, and San Diego. The group has been working with the city in assessing the areas that need the most help in devising solutions on how to get the unsheltered into proper housing. Many, like Mansion Church pastor Terry Dinkins, whose church converts to a warming center, applauds the city for bringing in reinforcements.
I think it's very important to help the homeless in this time because we have so many of them. But to get help, wherever we can get that help is greatly appreciated.
The federal government started working with Bangor as early as mid-September of 2022. Federal officials arrived in the city to discuss options regarding how to mitigate the growing homelessness crisis. According to a recent report from city manager Debbie Laurie, she says there's some progress in getting those who need housing what they need.
Anytime that you can connect an individual to housing, it's a win. 5 individuals who had been in one of our encampments were housed. How is that not a win?
The fight is not over, though, and Laurie says it's time for the city to act swiftly in housing the homeless.
The hard work starts now. We now know everybody. So now every time a unit or a landlord calls and says, I have a unit that I could be able to use, we're trying to move people into that unit quickly.
In Bangor, Matthew Jurancic reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
The legislature's Committee on Veterans and Legal Affairs has passed a bill designed to protect cannabis caregivers and patients by clarifying the meaning of the term cannabis paraphernalia in Maine statute. LD 83 is sponsored by Democratic State Senator Craig Hickman of Winthrop. It's known as an act to clarify state policy regarding the use of cannabis paraphernalia in the Maine Medical Use of Cannabis Act. The bill passed unanimously through the committee and is a response to a previous update from the Maine Office of Cannabis Policy. At the time, the updated guidance defined Maine cannabis products, such as pre-rolled cannabis cigarettes, as tobacco products. That meant that many cannabis caregivers had to receive a retail tobacco license in order to continue selling those cannabis products or face hefty fines or imprisonment. LD 83 defines cannabis paraphernalia in the laws governing cannabis to draw a clear distinction between that definition and that of tobacco products. The bill now faces votes in the Senate and House.
Well, looking outside, today was such a relief.
It really was.
But now this evening, colder temperatures right back there settling in, nowhere near the feels like negative 43 that we experienced over the weekend. But it's going to be a chilly overnight for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's kind of a stark difference from earlier in the day and now when the wind is whipping up and hitting your face. It really is starting to feel a lot chillier again out there.
Indeed, and with a little bit more on what we can expect, at least in the coming hours, let's take a first look at our forecast.
All right, Beth, thank you. Happy Monday. Your first weather is brought to you by Kings Mountain RC. Let's talk about temperatures today. 34 here in Bangor, 40 Bar Harbor, 32 in Millinocket. These are not normal, but even warmer temperatures are on the way. In fact, we could have 40s in everyone's forecast, probably Wednesday and then again over the weekend. Lots of clouds out there today, even a couple sprinkles earlier. This will all kind of push off to the east of us tonight, though. And behind it, a nice day tomorrow, followed by this system gets in here in about 2 days. That will give us a chance for some rain and some snow later Wednesday into early parts of Thursday. Until then, though, it's going to get a little windy around here. Out of the north, wind gusts tomorrow could exceed 35 miles per hour with air temperatures in the 30s. For tonight, though, partly cloudy skies to mostly clear skies and cool with low temperatures in the teens. Your full forecast is coming up. Beth?
Alrighty, well, experts share tips to manage brown-tail moth populations before they hatch. That story coming up.
And as well, a Brewer man opens up about his painful experience with shingles. We'll have those stories and more local news when we come right back.
Your first car, your first edition, and your first edition. We're here to help with all of life's firsts. Brewer Federal Credit Union. BrewerFCU.org.
Where will your new Chevy take you this year? Anywhere. Find new experiences. Find new roads. Get 2.99% financing for 5 years on all 2022 Silverado 1500 pickups, or get $1,250 cash allowance on this Silverado with a 2.7-liter engine. Plus, current Chevy owners get an additional $2,500 cash allowance.
Hi, I'm Renee from R&B's Home Source at Clouds Corner in Madison. For over 15 years, we continue to serve the people of Somerset County and beyond with quality products at the lowest possible prices. Find Serta mattresses at our Serta Sleep Center and Catnapper and Best Furniture for your living room. We carry most major appliance brands, and we proudly service what we sell. Stop in and see us 4 miles north of Skowhegan on Route 201 in Madison.
Shop with us here at R&B's Home Source.
It's high school basketball season, and ABC7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
Carroll Drug Store, Coastal Auto Parts, Disconnected Tattoo and Art Company, First National Bank, Moosehead Motorsports, and Mount Desert Spring Water.
I'm gonna make this right. You can tell me the truth.
Accused, Tuesday on Fox.
You've lived quite a life. Now, it's time to live it up. We're here to help you enjoy all you've earned. Brewer Federal Credit Union. BrewerFCU.org.
Half-off deals. Save money at foxbangor.com right now. Get the best deals from restaurants, family fun activities, events, and your favorite stores all in one place. Go to foxbangor.com and click on half-off deals and see all the money you could be saving. Half-off deals at foxbangor.com.
Welcome back. Well, those who had chickenpox as a kid have an increased risk of developing shingles later in life. Shingles is a viral infection that causes a painful, blistering rash on your body. It can be treated or prevented. And as Jody Hersey tells us, one Brewer man found out firsthand just how painful that infection can be.
Just perpetually uncomfortable. You know, it's there. Sometimes it's burning, sometimes it's stinging. Sleep has not been good.
Tom Osborne is the creative director at Town Square Media in Brewer. In January, he had the unlucky fortune to experience shingles, a viral infection that just appeared one day on the back of Osborne's head.
Strangely enough, I got to say I consider this a mild case of shingles. My mother had it when she was in her 80s, and I don't know if age has anything to do with how badly you react to it. And she didn't get the shot.
Shingles is preventable. Dr. Mark Abel with Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center says those over the age of 50 are encouraged to get the 2-dose shingles vaccine.
I was just reading that about 30% of the United States population is expected to get shingles during their lifetime. So super common. So typically it starts off as kind of a bumpy rash. It's interesting because it tends to be on one side of your body and doesn't cross the midline of your body because of the way the nerves are distributed inside of us. And it typically, like I said, is on the chest, the abdomen, the back.
Osborne's doctor prescribed the antiviral acyclovir, which Osborne says is already making shingles more bearable.
I understand there are a lot of people who have issues with vaccines, and I totally respect that. But this is a vaccine that's been proven. I'd do it in a heartbeat, and I wish I had, because you don't want this. You don't want this.
In Brewer, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, switching gears now, the rules about the minimum and maximum sizes of lobsters that can be trapped off New England could soon become a bit stricter, potentially bringing changes to one of the most valuable seafood industries in the country. Lobstermen are required to measure lobsters from eyes to tail and must throw them back if they're too large or too small. The rules are intended to maintain a healthy breeding population of lobster in key areas such as the Gulf of Maine and Georges Bank. The regulatory Atlantic States Marine Fisheries Commission is considering changing those standards by a fraction of an inch in some of the fishing grounds.
Meanwhile, the Department of Agriculture, Conservation and Forestry has announced February as Brown-tailed Moth Awareness Month. According to the Maine Forest Service, winter is the best time to spot the caterpillars lying dormant in their winter webs. Destroying a brown-tailed moth's winter web will prevent more caterpillars from populating, thus reducing the presence of toxic hairs, which cause poison ivy-like rashes and asthma-like reactions.
Sometimes that clipping of the webs can at least delay the arrival of a larger infestation to that area. And so there's a couple of ways that brown-tail can be managed, and one is, as I mentioned, through that web clipping. And that is simply cutting the webs from the tree and then destroying them somehow.
The caterpillar webs can be destroyed safely with fire or by soaking the web in soapy water for hours at a time. To learn more information about the moths and preventative tips, you can visit maine.gov/knockoutbtm.
Well, after 7 years of business, a local coffee shop is going through a bit of a change, this time in their ownership. Now, the owner of West Market Square Artisan Coffee House, Cheryl Michaud, has been serving downtown Bangor what she calls a unique coffee experience for just under a decade. Michaud has recently decided that she will be retiring from the coffee house later this month, and it will be turned over to two of her employees, Wayne Johnson and Aaron Parker.
I think I just want to take a little time. We moved down onto the coast, and I just want to take some time and figure out what I want to do next. I won't be sitting around eating bonbons.
Well, Johnson and Parker say that the coffee house will go through some rebranding, but they will offer the same high-quality experience that coffee patrons have come to expect. Parker says customers can expect some aesthetic changes as well. Moving forward, the coffee house will be known as Chimera Coffee.
Really cool to hear about the changes that'll be happening there, but also what's going to be kind of staying the same.
Yeah.
What people really have grown to love about that place. So
well, and that they're not losing an option, that they still have, that same choice, in a coffee house, albeit a little bit different, so that it's sticking around and we don't have a shuttered business in downtown Bangor.
Absolutely, and here's wishing the best for that previous owner there as she goes into new adventures from here.
Hanging out on the coast.
Yep.
We're down with that.
Pretty cool. All right, well, coming up on the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22, government moves forward and lawmakers are looking for answers after the U.S. shoots down a Chinese spy balloon.
And the FBI has thwarted a plot to attack the power grid near Baltimore, a threat they say was credible. Those stories and more as 10 p.m. news on Fox 22 continues.
Hi folks, this is Barry Gass of Gas Horse Supply and Western Wear in Orono. We've been in business since 1911, and our third-generation family-owned business can't wait to show you our unique line of Western wear and Western tack. We have Western boots, shirts, hats, belts, and buckles for the entire family, and Western tack from bridles to saddles and everything in between for your horse.
Gas Horse Supply and Western Wear, where the American West comes alive in Maine.
When you're ready to tackle your next building project, depend on the knowledge and experience of Hammond Lumber Company. Hammond's Home Planning Center will turn your ideas into accurate conceptual drawings, and 3D visualization is available. Your Hammond sales rep will prepare a materials list and cost estimate. And when you buy all of your materials from them, Hammond will refund all of your design fees. Hammond can deliver your order from any of their 22 locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Hammond Lumber Company, your building project partner since 1953.
It is said that the eyes are the windows into the soul, which begs the question, can a window have a soul? At Renewal by Andersen, we think so. When it's a window forged from fabrics and over 100 years of refined craftsmanship, the essence of who we are transforms into a superior, stunningly beautiful window. So yes, a window can have a soul. For a limited time, take advantage of this great offer. Find out why we are the better way to a better window. Renewal by Andersen.
Maine's #1 Kia dealer, Van Sickle Kia, has you covered. Front-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, hybrid, or fully electric. Brand new 2023 Kia Sportage, Sorento, Soul, Forte, and more. Check out the all-new 2023 Kia Niro Hybrid with 54 mpg highway, or the affordable Sporty Forte with 41 mpg highway. Plus, get Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, the best in the business.
The best cars, the best prices, and the best warranty. I'm Peter Van Sickle. I guarantee it.
It's high school basketball season, and ABC7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
Central Maine Denture, Corinth Auto Parts, John R. Crooker Agency, Osborne's Plumbing and Heating Incorporated, Sweet Cheeks Bakery, and Warren's Waterfront Restaurant.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
The death toll in Turkey and Syria has now almost doubled to 3,000 fatalities following the deadliest earthquake in the border region in almost a century. Fox's Alex Hogan has more from London.
There hasn't been an earthquake like this in Turkey since 1939. Thousands of people are dead and many others are still missing following a pair of massive earthquakes in Turkey's Syria border. The first was the most powerful, measuring 7.8 magnitude. Several hours later, a second earthquake hitting about 100 miles away, sending residents running from their homes.
At 4:05 in the morning, my child woke me up as the whole house was shaking. As we ran into the street, I was shown a message saying my aunt's building collapsed.
Buildings are still collapsing as the rescue and recovery efforts ramp up. Thousands of first responders are now digging through the debris, hoping to find survivors, but there's little medical infrastructure in many of these areas, and overwhelmed hospitals are pleading for more aid from the international community.
After the earthquake, we started to receive many cases, hundreds of casualties, hundreds of patients are still under the debris. The situation is too bad. We need urgent help.
The U.S. says it's already working on sending that help. President Biden writing in part, quote, "Our teams are deploying quickly to begin to support Turkish search and rescue efforts and address the needs of those injured and displaced." And officials say that those efforts will continue as long as they're needed.
Our initial assistance response is already underway. We are determined to provide any and all assistance to help those affected by these earthquakes.
So far, more than 20 countries have announced they're sending supplies and personnel to support the rescue effort. In London, Alex Hogan, Fox News.
Well, following the shooting down of a Chinese spy balloon, the top general for NORAD and North America says U.S. forces failed to detect previous incursions from Chinese spy craft into the U.S. Now government moves forward and lawmakers are looking for answers. Fox's Lucas Tomlinson has the latest from the White House.
We've made it clear to China what we're going to do.
President Biden says Beijing should not have been surprised, but it's not the first time. In a glaring admission, the top general for NORAD and North America says U.S. forces failed to detect previous incursions from Chinese spy craft into the United States. One recently crashed into the Pacific off the coast of Hawaii 4 months ago. Senior defense officials say there are 3 previous instances when Chinese spy balloons entered the United States during the Trump administration. Florida Congressman Mike Waltz says the Pentagon told him where they penetrated U.S. airspace.
What we were told is there were multiple incursions over Florida, one over Texas, and then there's been separate reporting we haven't been able to ask about yet over Hawaii and Guam. So what were the extent of these incursions?
The Biden administration says it has offered to brief top aides under President Trump. Former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says he has not yet received a call.
No one's made that offer. I doubt that that'll happen. The American people are owed an explanation of this.
Many other GOP lawmakers also have questions about the Chinese spycraft and want answers before potentially voting on a resolution on the matter ahead of President Biden's State of the Union address. The president and White House officials are relieved this Chinese spy balloon is no longer floating high above the United States when President Biden takes to the podium tomorrow night at the Capitol for the State of the Union address. At the White House, Lucas Tomlinson, Fox News.
Toxic chemicals that have the potential to be deadly if inhaled are being released into the air in Ohio. Residents have been forced to evacuate, and it's all because of a train derailment. Fox's Mike Tobin tells us more.
The disastrous after effects of a train derailment have forced residents in Ohio and Pennsylvania to abruptly leave their homes as officials are set to neutralize 5 combustible rail cars carrying hazardous substances.
Those in the red area are facing grave danger of death.
Ohio Governor Mike DeWine and emergency officials have been weighing risks and say they were faced with no great choices.
Those living in the orange area are at risk of severe injury including skin burns and serious lung damage.
The plan is now to blow a hole in the unstable tank cars, then drain the substance into a pit built specifically for a controlled burn.
This allows us to control that operation and not have the car react and do it itself. If we do it during the daytime, that'll allow the products to just keep moving up into the atmosphere.
The alternative, leaving the rail cars to burn out. But that had officials concerned that each would explode with little warning, sending the metal from the tanker itself flying through the air as shrapnel. The controlled burn expected to take 1 to 3 hours. Air quality is being closely monitored.
So far, the air monitoring has been, we haven't detected any sustained readings that would be a health effect. I know that's a little bit surprising given the smoke and the plume. Things can change, and so we'll monitor throughout this to make sure if there are any changes.
The team working to blow the hole in the tanker cars has done operations like this before, and there are safeguards in place to try to keep it from getting out of control. In Chicago, Mike Tobin, Fox News.
Well, the FBI has thwarted a plot to attack the power grid near Baltimore. They say it was a credible threat, and now 2 suspects are behind bars. Fox's Lauren Blanchard is in Washington with more.
A power plant plot has been foiled in Maryland. The Justice Department said 2 suspects intended to destroy key electrical substations near Baltimore.
The accused were not just talking, but taking steps to fulfill their threats and further their extremist goals.
Federal charges for conspiracy to destroy an energy facility have been filed against 27-year-old Brandon Russell of Florida and 34-year-old Maryland resident Sarah Clendaniel. The affidavit says agents believe the suspects were racially or ethnically motivated and wanted to take out power during the winter in order to cause the most harm. Thankfully, agents stopped the plot before there was any damage.
Clendaniel and Russell conspired and took steps to shoot multiple electrical substations in the Baltimore area, aiming to, quote, completely destroy this whole city.
Russell and Clendaniel appeared in federal court Monday afternoon from their respective states. They met online while serving earlier prison sentences. This follows 2 separate unrelated attacks on electrical substations late last year. One in early December in Moore County, North Carolina, left homes and businesses without power for days. Another over Christmas weekend near Tacoma, Washington, knocked out power to 14,000.
The electric grid is in the crosshairs of those who wish to do us harm, whether it's through a cyber attack or getting up close and trying to destroy it physically.
Both suspects could face up to 20 years behind bars if found guilty. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
And still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, there are growing concerns over TikTok's handling of personal information. We'll have the latest on the efforts to ban the app.
And in sports, Class B, C, and D cheerleading squads took to the floor in Ellsworth for the regional champs. We'll have highlights, results, and reaction all coming up.
This is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
Looking to buy or sell a home? The More True team of Better Homes and Gardens works throughout the state of Maine with both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Give the ladies of the More True team a call today or visit their Facebook page.
Family owned and operating in the Bangor area for more than 10 years, Crosby's Welding is here to help you. We specialize in steel, stainless steel, and aluminum welding and fabrication. We serve many of the local industries from Maine lobstermen to the commercial trucking industry and everything in between. Fully mobile on-site construction services right down to custom signs and fire pits. Fast, friendly, reliable service. Give us a call today for a free estimate, 974-7815.
The Toyota Highlander. You'll value its quiet, smooth ride, surprising appointments, spacious, luxurious interior, and its superior safety credentials. But what you might value most about Highlander right now is its value for the money. Save up to $1,300 with special 3.99% financing on Highlander at your New England Toyota dealer, your all-wheel drive headquarters. Toyota, let's go places.
It's high school basketball season, and ABC7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
Drinkwater's Cash Fuel, Gateway Title of Maine, Lincoln Color Center, Overhead Door Company of Bangor, Rowell's Garage and Car Wash, and Bale's Cakes.
Looking to buy or sell a home? The More True team of Better Homes and Gardens works throughout the state of Maine with both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Give the ladies of the More True team a call today or visit their Facebook page.
Amid the uproar over the Chinese spy balloon, there are increasing calls on Capitol Hill to take action against the Chinese-run social media site TikTok. Fox's Chad Pergram tells us more.
Don't look up. Look down. The biggest threat from China may not be floating above. It could be on your phone.
The Chinese Communist government has access to all of the information TikTok collects.
I'm fearful that what they're doing is reaching into the American culture and nation in ways that are unimaginable.
TikTok, which is owned by Chinese company ByteDance, concedes it tracks Americans via mobile devices. Texas Governor Greg Abbott just gave Texas agencies a deadline to ban TikTok on state phones. Democratic Colorado Senator Michael Bennet is calling on Alphabet, the parent company of Google, and Apple to ban TikTok from their app stores. Bennett's idea has bipartisan support.
I welcome it. We ought to just ban it in the United States completely.
But that's a challenge. Lawmakers want a universal plan to combat future TikToks.
It's a big, big hill to climb. This is not going to be the last time we have a foreign technology national security issue.
Congress passed a law that bans hostile nations from interfering in American commerce, but there's a carve-out for free speech platforms. That makes it hard to ban TikTok unless Congress changes the law. TikTok is now amplifying lobbying to preserve its foothold as the app faces more scrutiny about its ties with Beijing. TikTok recently offered more transparency, including inviting American regulators to inspect its algorithms to continue operating in the U.S.
They're now working with U.S. intelligence folks so the Chinese cannot get access and use it for spying.
A TikTok spokesman called pushes to ban the app politically motivated and says a prohibition won't enhance U.S. security. TikTok's CEO testifies before a House panel in March. Lawmakers have questions about how the app impacts kids. On Capitol Hill, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
Meanwhile, Senator Angus King says he wants to provide more help for veterans. He met with vets today at the Brunswick American Legion, and he's now on the Veterans Affairs Committee. He says they need to do more than just pass legislation. And Senator King says a lot of those protections need to be seen through. He plans to suggest that the VA, the Veteran Services Department, and the Defense Department meet with his committee to follow up. He says there needs to be improvements when it comes to transitioning to civilian life.
One of the things I'm most interested in that was talked about today is a buddy system. Have a human being whose job it is to meet you at the airport and help you through, where do you take your laundry in Maine and how do you avoid it? What do you do when it's 30 below on a Friday night?
Senator King says it's important for each state to know where exactly veterans are going so someone can guide them to resources that are available to them.
A speedy warship bearing the name of Maine's capital city is expected to be commissioned into service in the state. The future USS Augusta already has been christened at Austell USA Shipyard in Alabama. It could be ready to enter service this fall. Navy officials examined possible commissioning ceremony sites in Portland last week, then traveled to Augusta to meet with local officials and tour the city. The Augusta is a littoral combat ship of the Independence class featuring a trimaran hull to keep it stable at high speeds.
Meanwhile, there is damage in Boothbay Harbor as well, where school is canceled as a result. Brad Rogers shows us broken sprinklers, flooded rooms on both floors are forcing the school to close for at least a week, maybe two.
Some COVID flashbacks with the remote learning.
Middle school parent Rachel Higgins says at least 10 classrooms flooded over the weekend at this Boothbay Harbor Elementary and Middle School, along with the kitchen and half the cafeteria.
My daughter's classroom looks to be very damaged.
I hear the kitchens are pretty damaged, and there's a lot of equipment and a lot of learning materials that are damaged.
The superintendent says they turned the heat up Friday and Saturday, but the extreme cold still managed to break sprinklers and flood the school.
They've already started sort of removing ceiling tiles that haven't fallen and those types of things, starting on the top floor, working our way down. Plumbers have been in today, electricians in doing an assessment of the electrical system.
Until the school is found to be safe, even teachers are not allowed inside. As you see, the flooding destroyed a number of books. They still don't know about the computers.
We seem to have been pretty lucky as far as technology goes, but we haven't fully tested things because we're not plugging things in and running them at this point.
With no school, the local YMCA took in several students and daycares took in some of the younger ones. The plan right now is for elementary and middle school students to have remote classes this Wednesday through Friday. Then next week, grade school students will move to the high school and middle and high school students will start learning remotely.
And the goal is for it to be a very short time, short as is possible, because in-person learning is by far the most effective and best for everybody.
I think we're looking at least a month, probably longer. But I have total faith in our school. They have been awesome. I know that they want these kids in the school.
Some parents say this may be the deciding factor in possibly replacing this building with a new school.
And so we've all been talking about a really big project to replace the school. We're on the cusp of those decisions right now.
The school board is already looking at long-term options to house temporary classrooms should repairs take longer than expected. The school board will hold an emergency meeting tomorrow night on the school flooding and their options.
Alrighty, and that was Brad Rogers reporting.
Absolutely. And when we come back, we're going to learn about all the things that are going to be taking place out in the great outdoors in our region coming up. Stay with us for our full 5-day forecast.
High temperatures mostly in the 30s today, but some 40s are on the way this week, and also some rain. Those details for you when I come back.
Where do you go when you need a real estate appraisal? Who has the experience that I need? Who can I trust? Maine Val has over 30 years of experience across the state of Maine in providing top-quality real estate appraisal services. Contact us today and speak with one of our many licensed professionals. Maine Val, quality delivered on schedule. Call us today at 207-573-3222. That's 573-3222.
Rowell's Garage has been serving customers in the greater Dover-Foxcroft region since 1946. Our goal is not just selling you a vehicle, but also giving you quality service to maintain your vehicle at peak performance. Browse our inventory online or in person. Whether it's a car, truck, or SUV, we can put you in the vehicle that is right for you. Sales, service, and parts. Rowell's Garage. Doing business the right way every day.
Having a hard time finding that perfect gift? No worries. From now until February 14th, Quality Jewelers is offering one-stop shopping for all your Valentine's Day needs. Every purchase will come with a bonus gift, and our gift package makes shopping this Valentine's Day easy. You'll get chocolates, a stuffed animal, and a Valentine's Day card to fill out. If you're looking for the easiest way to really impress that special someone, look no further than Quality Jewelers. Quality Jewelers, locally owned and operated, Penobscot Plaza, Bangor.
It's high school basketball season, and ABC 7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
Arts Service Center, Coach House Restaurant, Coastal Auto Parts, Newport Glass LLC, the Bangor UPS Store, and the Farmer's Table.
The Celebrity Music Play-Along game is here.
Shake it off.
Celebrity Name That Tune, Wednesday on Fox.
Here we go. Your full weather is brought to you by Key Appliance. Sales and service for major brands including GE, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Speed Queen, and more. We hold the key to savings. And all right, so for us, temperature-wise today, this is not normal. 34 here in Bangor, 40 Bar Harbor, 32 Millinocket, the average high being mid-20s. All of us were above that today, and we'll be then tomorrow. And also for Wednesday, in fact, Wednesday, we could have high temperatures area-wide near 40. All right, so to the west of us, there's lots of 30s and 40s out here. We're in a very zonal flow now, meaning our air is coming right off the Pacific Ocean, traveling across the country, and still staying pretty moderate. So overall, the Arctic air has retreated to the north, and it's likely going to stay there for a while, as nothing warmer is really coming our way, as we have temperatures that are going to stay pretty much near or above average into the middle portions of February. And again, that could firmly plant us in the 30s, even a couple low 40s around here through Valentine's Day or so. All right, so our snowpack is going to take a bit of a hit with those warmer temperatures on the way. There's still lots on the ground, but there is some rainfall coming our way, probably later on Thursday and then again over the weekend. So overall, trails in great shape out there now, but there is some stuff on the way that could make the trails a bit messy, especially getting into the weekend and beyond. All right, so going forward, the wind is going to be a thing. So not just for tonight, but for tomorrow, also for Wednesday, as these systems kind of work across the U.S. Right now, out of the north, around 10 miles per hour, but we're going to get wind gusts near 30 miles per hour overnight tonight. That's going to stay with us, though, for another day or two before we get some rain and some snow showers in here later on Wednesday and Thursday. So our favorite, the gale advisories are up, also small craft advisories for wave heights out here approaching 8 to 10 feet throughout the day tomorrow. All right, so big picture shows a very progressive flow, meaning System 1, System 2, System 3, there's lots of them, right? There's more back behind that. So every couple days we get a chance for rain or snow around here. This one's leaving us alone, but this one's going to get us most likely with some rain and snow showers. Not a big one. They're all kind of weak systems, so overall we have many of them to get through. For now, though, lots of clear skies just to the west of us. But again, this is going to slowly move this way tonight. So once we break into some clear skies overnight tonight, temperatures will drop very quickly overnight tonight with that radiational cooling across our region. Walking you through it, so lots of clear skies tonight, lots of clear skies tomorrow morning, but then increasing clouds tomorrow evening. And what's this? Well, this is, Wednesday morning early. A little front's going to go through and maybe bring us a dusting of snow and some drizzle and light rain showers. That will not be a big deal, though. It's not going to travel plans or mess those up. And then overall, that pushes through pretty quickly on Wednesday, giving us a nice day Wednesday evening and then also into parts of Thursday before our next weather system gets in here later on Thursday. Our forecast ends tonight, though, is partly cloudy skies and breezy. Temperatures all over the place. Low temperatures down near 7 to 10 tonight. For tomorrow, breezy again, lots of sunshine, highs near 32. We'll take it. And then looking ahead, your 5-day forecast shows the story, right? Lots of sunshine Wednesday, a high of 41. Upper 30s Thursday, followed by a rain-snow mix getting in here on Friday with temperatures in the 40s. Beth?
Alrighty, so the rest of the week is actually looking pretty mild. So happy to see that after the couple days that we've had.
Absolutely, yeah. We deserve some warmer than average temperatures, I think, after those couple of just brutally cold days.
Warmer than 0 would be peachy.
Absolutely.
Alrighty.
Yep. All right, well, sports is coming up next. Stay with us.
Behind every keepsake, there's a memory. Behind every photo, there's a story. Behind Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration, there's people giving back by bringing back what was thought to be lost. The details, the time, and the expertise, all packaged up behind a name that Mainers have trusted for over 35 years. Statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration. You keep the memories. We'll handle the rest.
Come stop by Triple S Tack Shop, 315 Hamden Road, Carmel, for quality clothing and equestrian gear.
Your favorite restaurants were half off. It's half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7. Go to foxbangor.com, click on half off dining, and start saving now.
Come visit Candor Cafe inside the Bangor Mall, where your fresh and healthy meals are made for you by a certified nutritionist. We also offer plant-based and gluten-free options. Stop by and see us today. Candor Cafe inside the Bangor Mall.
Great restaurants from all over Eastern Maine at half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7. It's high school basketball season, and ABC 7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
C&K Variety, Door Construction LLC, Herman Meadow Golf Club, Leonard Heavy Rescue, Maine Collision Center, and the More True team of Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate.
4 Special Forces operatives push 16 celebrities to the limit.
They've entered our world. They will play by our rules.
Special Forces World's Toughest Test, Wednesday on Fox.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. Let's hit the mats, the cheer mats specifically. On Saturday, the MPA Northern Regional Cheerleading Championships over at MDI High School were cold it out. I guess that's the best way to put it. So on Monday, the action all happened at Ellsworth High School. Classes DC North and B North all competing for regional titles. Class D all one region, with schools as north as Holton and Presque Isle and as south as Booth Bay, all converging down east at Ellsworth. All schools will get a chance to compete for a state title this coming Saturday at the Augusta Civic Center. Over the weekend, Oxford Hills won A North and Sanford, just covering all the bases. So 3 classes competing here on Monday. Class D started us off, followed by Class C, and B was the nightcap. For Class D, finishing runners-up by a slim margin, the Bangor Christian Patriots. And then for the 8th time in the past 10 years, Central Aroostook Cheer claimed the top spot in Class D. Here is their reaction to winning the gold.
Just a lot of teamwork, honestly. We kind of had not the best season last year, so it feels really good to be back.
Just the confidence, probably just cheering like our own teammates on and everything, making sure they know that they can do it.
Over to Class C now. This one was a tight race. Central finished in 2nd place. They were just 0.15 points above Bucksport, who finished in 3rd, and then they were 0.4 of a point under the Class C champion, the Dexter Tigers, and the win was a pretty emotional one for a few of the Tigers seniors. Here was their reaction after lifting that regional championship plaque.
It's like mind-blowing because we worked so hard this whole season just for this.
All 4 years I have been working my hardest. Yeah. This whole team has been working so hard, and I cannot be more proud of them. Honestly, I didn't even think that was actually happening. We were sitting there with all of the things that we might have done wrong during that routine, just to sit here and then get called first place. It's amazing. It was so incredible.
Yeah, it was like an out-of-body experience. We all thought we were like gonna lose. We're like, oh, we're doubting ourselves, and then they called Dexter, and it was like, whoa, like it was crazy.
All right, and in Class B, it's the home team, the Ellsworth Eagles, taking the hardware. And then Herman was looking for their 7th straight regional championship. They come in 2nd place as the runners-up of the Class B North tournament. Again, all these teams will be able to compete next weekend at the state championships down in Augusta. Let's go to the hardwood now. It was a big weekend for Husson Hoops, both men's and women's hoops, sweeping their weekend series with Northern Vermont Linden. And in the men's game on Saturday, one Eagle broke out for a career game. Sophomore guard Jeremy Maranta, who was moved into a starting spot this season after DJ Bussey graduated, exploded for a career-high 34 points, with 23 of them coming in the second half. This year, he's averaging 14.9 points and 7 boards a game as a guard, their highest rebounder. And he says his goal on Saturday was just to go out there and help the team win.
I just wanted to do anything I can to help the team win. We shouldn't have been down by a lot, but it happened. We just had to fight our way back. I was reading the defense to get into my spots. Since I'm like a guard, they don't expect me to post up, so kind of took advantage of that.
Maranta, who's part of a great 1-2 punch for the Eagles backcourt with Justice Kendall back there, has taken a pretty big jump between last year and this season. His minutes, points, rebounds, basically everything has increased this season, and he's a big reason for the Eagles' 10-3 conference record. Speaking to him on Monday, he says he really worked on his pace of play and then prides himself on, quote, doing the dirty work.
Like, probably my pace. I feel like last year I used to play a little bit too quick, but this year I slowed down a little bit and I'm letting the game come to me. I can do everything this team needs me to. I like doing the dirty work. A lot of people don't really like doing that, but I love doing it.
All right, I love a guard that can do the dirty work. Let's stay with hoops now on that subject. The NBA trade deadline fast approaching. That is this Thursday. And there's one name that I keep seeing floated around with the Celtics, and I don't really know how I feel about it, especially lately after the Kyrie Irving move. Kevin Durant's name keeps coming up in conversation about who the Celtics may look for at the deadline, and it's controversial in the pure definition of the word. KD is one of the best players in the NBA, there's no doubt there. But Boston is already a favorite to win the title. And you'd likely need to move a couple of big pieces, a couple of pieces that are the reason you're the favorite, to land Durant. So the old saying would be, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I think that's where I lean. But it's also really hard not to get excited about the thought of Kevin Durant suiting up in green. So it should be an interesting week with the deadline coming up. We'll have all the updates here. That is all the time we have for sports. Be right back after the break.
Tonight's Stock Report is brought to you by Maine Valve, with more than 30 years of experience across the state of Maine, providing top-quality real estate services.
Comfy, cozy, relaxing. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find rockers, recliners, sofas, and easy chairs. Quality furniture, affordable prices. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
It's your journey. Own every mile in an available H-Track all-wheel drive Hyundai SUV. Get 2.9% APR on the 2023 Tucson or Santa Fe, or up to $750 bonus cash. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
It is said that the eyes are the windows into the soul, which begs the question, can a window have a soul? At Renewal by Andersen, we think so. When it's a window forged from Fibrix and over 100 years of refined craftsmanship, the essence of who we are transforms into a superior, stunningly beautiful window. So yes, a window can have a soul. For a limited time, take advantage of this great offer. Find out why we are the better way to a better window. Renewal by Andersen.
Silver Fox Automotive is a family-owned and operated company with more than 30 years of experience. We are originally from the county and offer competitive prices and promise you will be completely satisfied with our work. We offer a stress-free experience to both our new and returning customers. We only use parts from reputable brands to ensure your vehicle is safe to drive. Here at Silver Fox, there will always be a friendly face to greet you. Come see us at 2004 Audlin Road in Herman.
It's high school basketball season, and ABC 7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
Central Theater for the Performing Arts, Coastal Auto Parts, Eli's Market, Engstrom's Auto Service, Ray's Plumbing and Heating, and Two Old Goats Antiques and Artisans.
Durable, sturdy, stylish. Not Joe. Joe's Furniture. Joe's Furniture Warehouse in Newport is the place to find solid wood, built to last, made in Maine dressers, bureaus, and nightstands. Not your average Joe. Joe's Furniture Warehouse, Grogan Avenue in Newport.
Masknificent new costumes on The Masked Singer, February 15th on Fox.
Welcome back. The 65th Annual Grammy Awards brought a music-filled, history-making night. Fox's Ashley Dvorkin was there and brings us a recap.
The red carpet has rolled out for music's biggest night. And on that note, we're here to bring you a look at the night's biggest moments.
Thank you so much.
Beyoncé made history, breaking the record for most Grammy wins ever, adding 4, bringing her total to 32.
I've been so inspired by every artist in this category with me.
Harry Styles took the Album of the Year trophy home to Harry's house.
I promise you, you will find people, you will attract people in your life who believe in you and support you.
Record of the Year went to Lizzo for About Damn Time. Bonnie Raitt won Song of the Year for Just Like That. New Artist of the Year was awarded to Samara Joy. Among other milestones, Viola Davis is now an EGOT winner thanks to the audiobook of her memoir, Finding Me. Trevor Noah hosted for a 3rd time.
This is the 50th anniversary of hip-hop. Make some noise for hip-hop.
Legacies were celebrated. Dr. Dre received the Global Impact Award. LL Cool J introduced an epic superstar performance celebrating 50 years of hip-hop, produced and directed by Questlove.
Put your hands in the air!
Artists including Run DMC, Salt and Peppa, Busta Rhymes, Queen Latifah, Missy Elliott, and many more brought the audience to their feet. Others taking the stage in this music-filled show, to name just a few: Bad Bunny, Lizzo, Harry Styles, Sam Smith and Kim Petras. DJ Khaled, along with Jay-Z and more, wrapped the show with an 8-minute performance. Performances, surprises, a celebration of the past year of music, and brand new Grammy winners. That's a wrap on the 65th Grammy Awards. In Los Angeles, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Well, finally tonight, if you're making plans for Valentine's Day and they're big plans, like engagement big, here's a venue that you may not have thought of, but you might want to. Believe it or not, there's a good reason to pop the question at a Cracker Barrel this month. The chain is offering a chance to win free food for a year to couples who get engaged at one of its locations. Couples must post a video of their proposal to Instagram between February 10th and February 16th. They have to include a caption that explains why they decided to have their big moment at a Cracker Barrel. 5 couples will be chosen to win that year of free food. I gotta be honest, I'm a fan. It's some just really good, savory, down-home cooking.
Absolutely.
It's delicious. It gets the job done.
I've only ever been a few times, but every time has been a good experience. I'd just be upset if I was one of the couples who proposed and there was like 6 total couples who did it, and you're the one out of the 5 others that didn't get the free food for a year.
You'd like some more assurances that you're going to get the big prize before you make plans to do it.
Right, but still a fun idea.
Indeed. Alrighty, folks. Well, that's going to do it for us from everyone here at Fox 22. Take care and have a great night.
Good night, everyone.